Learn stories of success, avoid struggles they've met. Doctors of all kind come together to help you shine. So sit back, take it in, and integrate what you've been given on a doctor's perspective.net.
Minisode 63. Thanks for tuning in again. I'm going to drop a new episode, 4 total, before the end of the year. Give you a little more headspace for your New Year's resolutions, hopefully. And today will be no different. But before we jump in, of course, it's still the holiday season. You might have gotten some gift cards. If you're looking to spend some of that money on Amazon, for instance, you can go to adoctorsperspective.net/book list. It's all the book recommendations from all 169 guests. So everything from personal development, marketing, advertising, sales, relationship advice, all of that. All those books are there. You just got to scroll through them. If you like it, get it. Of course, it's an affiliate link. And what are you listening to me on right now? Do you like the speakers you have? If not, may I recommend JLab Audio, one of my favorites. It has amazing battery life. The sound is spectacular, but the price is great. It's a fraction of the cost of these big name speakers, but the sound is very comparable. They've got microphones as well. If you're looking to enhance your Zoom calls and virtual office visits, that might be a good purchase for yourself. There's 3 versions, and they have everything from headphones that go over the ear, in the ear. There's no wires. Some have wires. Whatever you want, they got it. They even got stuff for gamers. So anyway, adoctorsperspective.net/JLab. So today we're going to talk about really decluttering your space, but also considerations if you ever decided to move. If you have questions about, I've moved to China twice, and then Germany, and then I moved from Denver to Louisiana and Houston and Baton Rouge, and so I moved a lot. I know that's not everybody's into that, but I have, and I enjoy it, and so of course I don't have a lot of stuff, and the stuff I do have I was able to fit into my parents' storage shed. Well, it's like a workshop, and then I just got like a corner with some shelves, and I got to put my stuff there. Got some chiropractic tables. So if you want to buy a decompression table or something like that, let me know. With the right price, I'd be willing to pass that on to somebody else because it still works perfectly. But anyways, you have to ask yourself some questions, okay? When you're trying to declutter, and I've kind of mentioned this in the past episode, but I'll say it again. In my closet, I've got clothes. I got polos, I got dress shirts, t-shirts, the whole, like everybody else. But for work, since I don't just like wear scrubs, and I can wear anything I want, just like you, usually, we typically have our favorite shirts, and so you just wear those. So if you find yourself in that category where you're like, yeah, these are the top 6 shirts that I always wear, and all these other ones I really don't wear, they haven't moved, they're collecting dust, it's time to donate those. Get rid of those. You're not going to wear them. However, if you're going through your closet and you're like, hey, these don't even look good anymore, they're out of style, get rid of those too. But let's say you did that. You went through your clothes, you found the ones that you are still in good shape, you just, for whatever reason, don't really care to wear them. Start cycling. Say to yourself, I am not going to rewear any of these clothes. Like, have a system. Maybe you wear a shirt on the left, and when you wash it, you dry it, you put it on the right side, and you only pull from the left until you work it through. And if you get through all your clothes, and there's certain clothes that you just don't feel good in. I feel fat. I got a bad compliment. I didn't get a compliment, or I just don't feel confident in this outfit. Put that in the box. Donate it. And that way you can either A, use all the clothes you have, or B, get rid of the stuff that you don't want. All right. Pictures. If you're old school, you have a lot of pictures printed because you had to. So the question becomes, what do you do with all those albums if you were going to move and you don't have any place to put it? You can pay somebody to scan all these pictures and put them on the computer. Then you have them backed up on an external hard drive. Then you back it up on a P-Cloud or Google Drive or whatever. You might have 2 places that you back it up or 3 places. And then you can get rid of all these photo albums that might get damaged anyway. Now, if you plan to, say, move overseas, then you really got to start asking yourself, okay, if you're going to have a job, find out what their dress code is, because that's really going to make a difference in what you bring. But remember, you only have usually 2 suitcases at 50 pounds apiece. So you got 100 pounds. That's it. What do you bring? Well, Europe has deodorant. You don't have to worry about that. Some of the Asian countries, on the other hand, don't really have it, or it's overpriced. So you might look at, okay, maybe I need to bring 6 sticks, and it's worth it because otherwise you really can't find it. All right, that's something to consider. It's a weird thing to consider, but I would consider it. You obviously don't need to bring towels, sheets, pillows, all that stuff. You don't have to bring it with you. You can repurchase it. Okay. Pots and pans, of course, you're not going to move overseas with that. if you just plan to be there for a few years. I've been part of some of these Facebook groups, and they're like, we're moving to Germany. And then they take their entire house. But I guess they plan to live there, for the rest of their life. So they look at shipping containers. They put everything they own in that and then bring it over. And so now they don't have to rebuy anything. And at some point I say, okay, that's cool. You could use some of those things, but you don't want to waste your money on things that don't matter. But you really do have to consider, what does it cost to replace? What are you bringing? A lamp? Well, the electricity is different. You bringing some furniture that's like an heirloom? Yeah, okay, you can't replace that. You're going to be here forever. Okay. But sometimes I wonder just what are they bringing that they couldn't just repurchase at IKEA or the bajillion different furniture stores that they have here? What's the difference in the prices to get things shipped versus what it's worth versus just buying something new, and things to consider. And if you don't know, join a group and you can find out, okay, what are some popular, you can put your Google search or your Bing search to a different country and then find out like what are the popular furniture stores in this area. And then you can go on their webpage and you can really start researching like what do you actually need. And you might find it's better just to declutter. You got a 3,000 square foot house with a whole bunch of stuff and you're going to move it into a 1,200 square foot space. What do you need? And maybe you're going to find the first place you stay is not that great and then you have to move and you got to move all that stuff again. So there's lots of things to consider. It might be one of those things where you go back the next year. That first year is not so fun. But then the second year, you're like, okay, these are the things that I actually need. And that's a little bit more complicated. But let's just consider if you're a doctor and you're moving from somewhere for a few years like I did. Again, you want to check out the clothes. What clothes do you want to bring? What do you need? What do you not need? And only bring what you need because clothes are generally cheap in other countries. And you're going to be bored and want to spend money anyway. So now you can actually have a purpose. You got your 4 or 5 shirts, but now you want something new. Then you go and you have fun. You can learn how to bargain. You can speak their language. You can actually see what's popular there. You're like, oh man, I look so American. But if I buy this, this, or this, I can at least look kind of like a local. They might have some unique styles that you actually like. And so then you'd want to buy it. And if you brought all the clothes you could possibly imagine, and you're like, oh, no, I want to bring these home back to America or wherever whenever I'm done. Well, now you got a double problem because now you don't have enough room and weight. One of the things I did was I brought stuff that after my first year in China, knowing, seeing what they wear and what I wear and what I have. And there were certain things that I could bring there that would still fit and would look okay. But like, I don't need to wear those anymore in America. I can get rid of them. So I would just wear them there and then just not take them home. So every time I come home, I wouldn't bring much, but then I would replace some of those clothes with new clothes. And then at the end of it all, I just donated whatever was still usable to their locations and help out somebody else. Again, toothpaste, toothbrushes, cosmetics, all that stuff you can find at whatever country you're going to. You don't have to really bring more than like a week's worth. Or if you just really like this one product, maybe just bring one and then give yourself time to figure out what else that you can bring. Socks. I will say this. If you're not going to Europe, you're going to Asian countries, their socks may not be that great. So you may want to get a new pack of socks. Underwear, of course, they have. But, a fresh box of underwear and socks might be something worthwhile bringing. And that way you don't have to worry about it. Fingernail clippers and all that stuff they have. All the stuff you need for your kitchen, they're going to have. And they're going to have it the way they use it. So you will be surprised at what they have. So that's the cool part, is just kind of embracing their culture by getting things there. Other than that, bringing important documents. Obviously, that's important. Back it up. Cam Scanner is a great app that you can use to at least have a copy of everything in case you lose it. You can go and you can print these things out. Obviously, if it's official, that won't really help. But to at least have it, you'll be surprised at how much help that can be. There have been many times where I needed to get something and I didn't have it on paper. We were supposed to bring everything and then this piece got forgotten or we didn't know we needed that piece. But I took a picture of it and they're like, yeah, just take a picture. It's fine, whatever. Some countries, their rules are loose. They have rules, but they can be bent and shifted and just get paper signed. So it's a good time. Like, look, if you've never been overseas and you've thought about it, like I've said before, contact me. I've got enough contacts, I think, where I could help you to find a job or at least answer your questions that you would have on like why you would do it. 2020 was able to pay off my student loans. You know what that's like. And so there's just, it's not that you get paid so much more, but even if you got paid the same as you do in America, your cost of living is so much less that you save money and you can live however you want. So that's what I got for you at doctorsperspective.net/M63 for all the show notes and the transcript. Y'all have a great week and let's prosper for 2021.